Greetings and salutations, it is I, Professor Macabro, back again with another horror DVD update. Yes, I have a couple of horror movies that I bought recently, and I wanted to share them with you. So, by the time you see this one, you've probably seen the other update where I had the Dracula, the Conjuring, the Paranormal Activity, Hellfire. But this time around, I have a couple of blind buys that I picked up, and I have two more batches of horror movies to share with you. So, at least for the next 2 weeks, you'll see some nice horror content in the YouTube channel, which unfortunately I tend to not update that much, but we'll not get into that. First off, this is not a good movie. This is not a movie that I have been told not to add to the collection, but I am a completist. I must own every movie in a franchise, despite the quality of a said movie. And, yes, this is not good. This is not good. But it's been a while since I've actually come across a copy, and I finally did, and I had to pick it up to complete, for the most part, my Halloween collection. And I finally found a copy, and I picked up Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. However, this is the unrated version. This movie is not good. It's interesting as maybe an artsy movie, but it's not good. But again, I needed to buy it because I need to have all the movies in the franchise. Friday the 13th is my favorite franchise as far as horror series are concerned. The first Halloween is my favorite movie of all time. I've mentioned this and have mentioned it numerous times. The Halloween series and the Freddy series tend to have good moments, but not good sequels, except 3. Freddy 3, Nightmare on Elm Street, Nightmare on Elm Street 3. It's amazing. Halloween has hit and misses, but I still need to get, now I'm only missing Halloween Kills. I need to get that one to complete my Halloween collection and just wait for the inevitable release of Halloween Ends. But I needed this one. I didn't want it, but I needed it, and it's finally in the collection. But it is what it is. Picked up Wicked Little Things. Blind buy. I know nothing of this except what the cover says, that it's one of the 8 films to die for. Don't know anything about this one. Haven't seen it. I'll look into it when I see it. Another one of these 8 films to die for, The Hamiltons. Based on what little I know of this one, it involves vampires, so I'm all for vampires. I like the vampire, so hopefully it'll be good. And I picked up this Midnight Horror Collection Volume 2. It's one of these 8 movie sets. These sets sometimes are really good to find obscure movies that might not be as readily available on single DVD, even though this type of release tends to really take a plunge on the image quality. But I'm not a big fan of horror movies in high definition. I feel, especially the older movies, when they get too cleaned up, they kind of lose their magic. The grittiness, the griminess, the low quality really helps hide the effects from back in the day. So when you clean it up, you can see a lot more detail, and it kind of takes me off in horror movies. So I prefer low quality. That's why I haven't made the upgrade on all of my movies for Blu-ray. Even though Blu-ray has more special features, that's always not the case. But this one has a nice selection. It has Demonic Toys 2, one of the Evil Bong releases. So I was like, well, why not? I got it at a good price. Let's give this one a chance. Picked up Resident Evil Afterlife. I know people hate the Resident Evil. I enjoy them up to the final chapter. The final chapter is a hot piece of crap. I did not enjoy the final chapter. It has terrible editing. It completely destroys its own. And this is from a series that the timeline and events that happen get forgotten from one movie to the next. Resident Evil 3 is a Mad Max apocalyptic movie because everything has gone to shit. And by the fourth one, everything's back to normal somehow. But I had only the Blu-ray of Resident Evil Afterlife. But I like owning the Blu-ray and the DVD, and this is the DVD. Because that release of Resident Evil Afterlife is only the Blu-ray. But I wanted the DVD because that's how I roll. Picked up this one with Marisa Tomei, Danica. I don't know anything about this one, actually. I wanted to check it out because it has Marisa Tomei, who was really good in The Wrestler, the one with Mickey Rourke. And, yeah, why not? Give it a chance. That's what I always say. Horror movies are delightful and such a diverse genre that I give a chance to every horror movie I come across. As long as a horror movie is not boring, it gets a pass if I get some sort of entertainment. Either I laugh my ass off at the preposterous story, or the horrible special effects, or the bad acting. As long as I get some enjoyment, it gets a pass from me. Picked up Goosebumps. Yes, Goosebumps. 2 DVDs of Goosebumps. I am trying to add more Goosebumps into the collection. This was a nice introduction. I've mentioned this before. I actually enjoyed Erie, Indiana a little bit more. Who's Afraid of the Dark is another good one. And then, of course, you had your Creep Shows and your Tales from the Dark Side. But for it was, Goosebumps had some good episodes and some nice twists. So I do want to add some more Goosebumps. I am not sure. I haven't looked into it if they have released a complete series on DVD. I'll have to look into it. And if they did, I'll have to buy it. Picked up these 2 finally. Before I organized the horror collection, I wasn't sure if I had the theatrical or the unrated cuts of these 2 movies. I will start off by saying that I did not enjoy the first one. It had some good kills, but the characters were hot garbage. The second one, however, I enjoyed a little bit more, but mostly because of one particularly awesome scene in the sequel. But I didn't have my horror movies organized, so I thought I had only the theatrical releases of the Hostel movies. So I bought Hostel 1 and 2, both the unrated cut. And as I was organizing the collection, I realized that I already had these 2 ones. So there you go. I rebought these 2, which whenever I do that, I'll pass them along to someone else that doesn't own them. Despite what I have mentioned, I do buy numerous copies of movies I have, but only if they're different cuts, and these releases are the exact same ones that I had despite what I thought, so they will get passed along. But that was the horror DVD. A lot of blind mice, honestly. A lot of stuff that I haven't seen, so I can't really recommend that much, but I guess I'll go with Goosebumps. The theme song was catchy. There was a dog barking there. Beware, beware. You're in for a scare. I like the intro. That song is gonna get stuck in my head for the next hours, but I'll go with Goosebumps. It's pretty good, even though, again, Erie, Indiana, I personally enjoyed a lot more. And Who's Afraid of the Dark again. Well, that was this hard DVD update. I hope you enjoyed them. Have 2 more to start sharing with you, so stay tuned for that. But until I see you all again, like always, I wish you a good evening.